Hello everyone, this is Dr. Alex Avila with Love University, and we're back. I'm an author, psychologist, and speaker. Every week we talk about how to love yourself, others, and a higher nature, how to improve your finances, career, health, relationships, and spirituality. And this week we're starting a brand new series called Transform Your Weakness. Awaken your invincible mind. The reservoir of weakness is a part of your mind that attacks you with self-defeating thoughts. You're not good enough. You will lose what you have. You will never recover from your mistakes. But there is good news. Did you know that your worst weakness can become your greatest strength? If you know the secret, you can change your fears, doubts, and regrets into amazing abilities and attributes. With the right inner approach, you will no longer have to be afraid of the things that held you back. You can tap into hidden power by turning your reservoir of weakness into a storehouse of greatness. Today, we begin by transforming one of the worst maladies in our modern technological civilization, the rush weakness. The rush weakness is a relentless inner voice that compels you to run, rush, and chase, to try to accomplish more than is realistically possible. It's the unforgiving taskmaster with a stopwatch, forever reminding you how much you have to do and how little time you have to do it in. Think about it. Look at your daily schedule, the many things you feel you must pack into it to get done what has to be done. In our technology-driven society, people expect quick answers and results. If you don't respond to someone quickly, they may be irritated or upset. They want you to rush to meet their timelines, no matter what. With the rush weakness pressuring you to move quickly, it seems that time becomes an enemy you cannot defeat. The irony is that rushing often slows you down in the long run, because you make mistakes that you later have to correct. When you speed and get into an accident, you're not going to get to your destination any faster. In fact, you'll be a lot slower. If you cut corners and try to rush a relationship or financial situation, chances are it will go badly, and you will have to start over with a new person or investment. How do you get away from the rush mentality? You need to develop the mind of patience. The mind of patience tells you that there is always enough time to do what needs to be done. It's a mindset of relaxation, purpose, and focus. With the mind of patience, you take your time doing things right, which ends up saving you time in the long run, because you don't have to backtrack and fix your errors. As we look at the mind of patience and the rush weakness, it's important to make a distinction between acting quickly and decisively and rushing. Someone who rushes is caught up in an emotional tidal wave of fear, worry, and anxiety. Here's what motivates them to rush. They're so concerned about not having enough time to do something, they often end up acting impulsively and making mistakes. On the other hand, the quick-acting, decisive person knows exactly what they need to do. For example, an experienced first responder can react to a crisis with a relatively calm and proactive demeanor. They act quickly because they're not dominated by fear or anxiety. They know they have a job to do, and they can do it efficiently and rapidly. In the same way, the person who has the mind of patience recognizes the importance of deadlines and timeliness. A mother picks up her child from school at a certain time, while not being a slave to the emotional reactions of fear and worry about not having enough time. They're responsible, on time, and in control because the rush weakness doesn't dominate their mind. Here's a way to increase your mind of patience when you're tempted to be impatient and rush around in a worried state. Choose the longer line. Many people hate to wait. For example, standing in a long line at a store. Yet in reality, it's not the amount of time you have to wait that is the problem. It's the way your rush-dominated mind adds a sense of impatience and discomfort to the waiting situation. While the waiting by itself can be a neutral experience, the rush weakness can make you dislike every minute of it. To counteract this tendency toward impatience and the urge to rush, try this. Next time you're at a store, intentionally choose the longer line. Most people will go to the shorter line because they want to finish quicker and go home sooner. But you will do the opposite. You will stay in the longer line. When you do this, the rush weakness will attack you and say, "You're being foolish. Why are you slowing down your progress? Let's get out of here." When you choose the longer line, you're telling the rush weakness to shut up. Despite its incessant jabbering, you're deciding to exercise your patience muscles. Think of patience as a muscle you can work on to make stronger. When you stand in the longer line, you're doing just that. Plus, there are other benefits of waiting in line. You can observe your environment and fine-tune the skill of awareness. Being aware of your thoughts and feelings and gaining insight about life and patience as you stand there. You can also see how miserable other people are when they suffer under the domination of the rush weakness. Being jittery and impatient, wringing their hands, shifting nervously, and complaining about how slow the line is and how many important things they have to do. When you see how much they suffer from the rush mentality, you can decide to be different and enjoy a more relaxed pace of life. The good news is that with practice, you can defeat the rush weakness and develop the mind of patience. In our society, many people are in a rush for many things: wealth, love, success, and contentment. But by rushing with a mind of impatience, they often push themselves further away from their goals. Impatience weakens their resolve, tempts them into making mistakes, and brings frustration and futility into their minds, making them attack themselves because they aren't making more progress in their lives. On the other hand, with a mind of patience, you do the opposite. You learn how to wait even when you face the most seemingly difficult and frustrating situations. When people and circumstances appear to be against you, when you have failures and setbacks, when nothing goes your way, you will wait because you know that the higher nature, God, Spirit, or universal energy, will bring you everything you need in due time. All you have to do is wait for the right people and situations to come into your life. When you think like this, you will have more energy and motivation to persist at your goals. If at first you don't receive what you want, you will keep working towards your goal with a mind of patience. You will recognize the truth of the saying, the longer the wait, the better the prize. You know there is always something better in store for you. Keep working towards your desires. Never again will you allow the rush weakness to force you into an unwinnable race. Patience will become your sword, and you will rush no more. So, loving University students, this week, my advice to you is to go out and live with a mind of patience. Be aware of your tendency to rush and intentionally slow down. Take the longer line. Take a deep breath. Listen more. Recognize that you can accomplish a lot of things when you're able to move at your own pace, at your own speed, and with your own power. And by the way, Love University students, you can obtain a copy of the book, Invincible You, on Amazon.com, and learn more insight, information, and secrets about how to live with pure invincibility and inner power. So, Love University students, go out this week, act with patience, love yourself, love others, and love the higher nature. And by the way, follow me on Instagram at Dr. Alex Avila. That's DrAlexAvila. And also follow me on the social media links below. And now the moment has arrived. Put away your notebooks, your iPads, your phones. Love University, class is now dismissed. This is Dr. Alex Avila.